Hi, this is Steve Mann, and I just wanted to go over X-ray and X-ray selected in the panel view. This is something I use all the time, and I think some people just may have missed it. Basically, if you are showing these menus in your panel, you can go under shading, X-ray, on or off. Also, there is X-ray joints, so now you see joints through everything. Whoops. So I just wanted to show how to set that up as a hotkey, as long as a couple other things, because I actually don't like having all those menus open there. Alright, so I'm going to start with wireframe on selected. It's one I use all the time. I set it to Alt-W. You can set it to whatever you want. And I'll just go over that script real quick. Basically what we're going to do is these guys are all known as panels. So anything with a camera view is a panel. Actually, everything's a panel. But these particular panels are model editors. So in our script, the first thing we do is to get what is the active panel. And you'll notice it says model panel 14. There's no real way of knowing that. In fact, next time I open Maya, it's not going to be called that. So this one's, oh, I'm now in the script editor. Click over here. And if I run this, it should give me model panel 11. So 11, 14, script editor panel 1. And then, like I said, every time you open Maya, it's going to be different. And we can run some commands once we have that model panel. So there's model editor, which is our main command, and it has a bunch of different options. One of them is wireframe on shaded -WOS. So what I'm going to do is query the wireframe unshaded of the panel, which we got. If it's 0, set it to 1. Otherwise, set it to 0. And that's pretty much all it is. Well, now, for the X-ray, it's very similar. The only thing is I change out -WOS to -X-ray, and I get the same result. And then the last one, let's see here. There we go. Shift-X, Shift-X. I've got it set to Shift-Alt-X for X-ray selected. Now there's a command called display surface, which will actually change these things from X-ray selected to not X-ray selected. So basically what I'm going to do is get my selected objects, and you'll notice that that one is actually global in both views, whereas X-ray is panel specific. Same thing with wireframe on selected. So what I'm going to do is, the first thing I'm going to do is make sure I get the visible shape node. Now there's two shape nodes anytime that you deform an object. So this torus here used to look just like this one until I threw the lattice on there. But now you'll notice that if I look in the attribute editor, you'll have two separate shape nodes. You have one that's called a ridge and one that's called p-torus shape. And you notice that under the under the object display, intermediate object is turned on for the ridge and off for the shape. It's the one that's turned off that we want. If I go to the ridge one and turn it off, I'll now show the original shape node of that torus. And what you'll see is basically you have two shape nodes in one. And this is that original one. It was changed by the lattice. It spits out that one. So we don't want that ridge node. Once we have that, we can run the display surface on it. And this is just another way of doing an if-else. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a variable to get the state of the X-ray, and then I'm just going to do the reverse of that using an exclamation point, or also known as bang. So display surface -X-ray, the state opposite of what it was. So it's just going to toggle it back and forth. Now the last thing I wanted to show you was that I also have toggles up here for grid, joint, curves, basically anything that's in this show menu here. And where that comes from is the same exact script. So if I look at that original script, the model editor, instead of using -WOS, there's a lot of options that the model editor has. If I run help-model editor, it's going to give me all those potential things that I can toggle back and forth. Alright, I hope that was helpful, and see you around.